In this video, I'm gonna show you how to play the Lulu reroll comp and get the easiest LP of your life. So there's a few reasons for why this comp is broken this patch, and the obvious, she got buffed, but other than that, it has a really low play rate as you see here. So she's gonna be uncontested, which means you can just freestar it for free. Meanwhile, country players, Twin Terror players and Executioner players are all, and Punk players are griefing each other to try to hit Vex free. You just get this unit that no one buys and you freestar it. So easy. So that's a potential out for you if you're playing Twin Terror and you're contested on Vex. Just play Lulu reroll and get a free start. So this comp is also really easy to play. It might look overwhelming at first, a new comp and whatnot, but it's not a flex comp. You play a certain set of units and it's not really that versatile. You basically play the normal Superfan KDA setup. So Cannon, Lilia, Seraphine, Echo, Nico. This is the core of the comp, as well as Lulu. So the only thing you really need to freestar is gonna be Lulu. You can go for basically freestar Cannon, Lilia, Seraphine, Echo, Nico if you hit it naturally, but it's gonna be a bit harder to hit because those other units can be contested in Akali Ari, for instance, or the Seraphine reroll comp. But Lulu is gonna be really easy to hit, and if you hit the other ones, it's nice, but it's not necessary. So let's take a look at the items as well, because this is the important thing that you need to know. And right here, you see that you get a minus 0.4 lower placement if you build blue buff, and you actually get a higher placement from Shojin. So I feel like a lot of people are getting baited into building Shojin on her. The thing is, you already get a Shojin from her super fan item. So if you pair that with a blue buff, she's just casting infinitely. And for the last item, you see what has the lowest average placement is UL Gauntlet or Death Cap. So you want her Superfan Shojin, then blue, and then a random AP item or AP crit here. And I can also show you the item pairs. So you see that everything has a pretty decent stat here, but the lowest item combo is gonna be blue buff and Death Cap, or blue buff and UL Gauntlet, and then Superfan item you get in a Shojin. It's actually kind of decent if you build Shojin and blue buff on her on the stats, but it's better with just a blue buff and the AP items, and you get the last Superfan item. And other than that, what you really want to prioritize in this comp is gonna be a Spark, because it just shreds the enemy's MR, so Lulu does a lot more damage. Makes sense in a full AP comp. And you really want to get some tank items on Nico and Echo, whichever you hit first. I think Nico is a bit better. And then you can put Sunfire and Spark on Echo and put the real tank items on Nico. So the best on her, in my opinion, is Heartsteel together with Warmogs. I think that's broken. And you just get some random, like, you know, Gargoyle or whatever. Doesn't really matter that much. Basically, you slam whatever tank item you hit. You shouldn't be picky about that. And if you don't have anti-heal from Echo, you can slam a Morello on Seraphine, because she clumps up the units. So I will show you exactly how the comp looks like. So here it is. We have Lulu, Seraphine, Cannon, Echo, Lilia, Nico. Slam whatever tank items on these two guys. So I want to talk about the headliner. Either you want to headliner Lulu, of course, because you're playing this reroll. So doesn't matter if you get Hyper Pop, doesn't matter if you Spellweaver, just take the first one that appears in your shop. I think they're basically the same strength. I can show you that on the stats as well. So here we have Hyper Pop 0.09 and Spellweaver 0.18. So basically no different in the stats. So you just take whatever you hit, don't greed in this comp. So if you get Hyper Pop, then basically your team fits in perfectly. You can just play like normally, put in whatever, you know, you get. You can throw in Akali Ari later. This way you get 5 KDA. But you can also just throw in like a random Ziggs, Sona, Ilaoi. You know, you play the normal way you play a KDA board. The thing you need to, I mean, if you get the Spellweaver one though, you really wanna try to get in, you know, 5 Spellweaver as easy as possible. So then you just want to throw in Ari. Once you level up, boom, you get 5 Spellweaver. The same story goes, you just can level up again, put in Akali, and that way also get 5 KD. So you get a really nice set of traits right here. The thing you need to also keep in mind in this comp is that there's a few augments that's used broken. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it, but the broken econ augments are, you know, work really well in this comp since it's a 3-cost reroll. So we have martial progress, it's really good. Shopping spree, broken. Other than that, 2 augments that you really need to look out for is gonna be hologram, and the second one is gonna be twin terror. And the reason why these 2 augments are really good in the comp is because basically you get 2 Lulus in like this with either hologram or twin terror, and you put the Lulus next to each other, and you put an Ari next to them if you have it. So why it's good is because you have hyper pop, and when a hyper pop champion uses an ability, they grant mana for 4 seconds of attack speed to their 2 closest allies. So Lulu gives the other Lulu attack speed and mana, and that Lulu has more attack speed and mana and cast, and gives the first Lulu more attack speed and mana. So they just buff each other and they cast infinitely. Perma CC does infinite damage. So always pick up those 2 augments, and then it's basically a win out angle from this comp. But yeah, I will also get in a game here and show you exactly how to play this comp. So in the game, we're kicking it off with a multi-talented portal, which is honestly a really nice bonus for playing the Lulu reroll comp, because she really likes that 5 Spellweaver. It's a nice bonus, and Hyperpop is really broken on her, so we just get both of them. Plus, so I'm gonna drop some free tech for you guys as well. So as you all know, Disco board has been nerfed, and it's not performing that good. But if you get an opener like this, don't be scared to take it. You can just pivot out of the Disco board later. I don't care what anyone says, this opener is really broken. You can get some free win streak with it, and probably uncontested as well. So play it for the early game if you have a good spot for it. So we got some pretty good augments. Shopping spree, the middle one was kind of mid, and the left one is not good as the first augment. Shopping spree is performing really well, and Freaky Friday is performing super good as well. So I was just thinking about taking Freaky Friday just to get the free, you know, items. But then I rerolled the last one, and we actually got hit with a twin terror. Even after the nerfs, this augment is completely broken. So for now, we have this giga capped board actually, with 2 Namis and 2 Tarics. So broken in this early game. We're also gonna pick up that Gragas right there for 4 Disco, and we basically have a 5 streak here, unless someone's giga capped with perhaps a random Olaf or something. So we're also gonna slam this Sunfire. Sunfire is just a really good item to slam. You're not forced into any comp. You can play it in whatever comp. And also, when you have a lot of frontline and little damage, it's gonna make up for that lack of damage, because your frontline stays alive forever, so they just burn everyone down for free. So as you see here, I got the twin terror start, so I was kinda angling towards the normal, you know, Vex and Twitch board. But I believe it was contested in this lobby. So that's why I just went for the Lulu instead. Because if you're gonna play Vex, she's contested in Tank, she's contested in Executioner, she contested in Country. Like, you really want to freestar her, but it's pretty much impossible sometimes. So just go for this Lulu angle instead. Or a Seraphine. I will show that in my next video as well. So be sure to subscribe, and I will drop that secret tech for you as well. So we just took a belt right there. Couldn't get the Jewel Gauntlet in the carousel as you guys saw. So decided to just take up this belt random tank item. Can't really go wrong with that, right? So we actually, yeah, we use against a random Heartsteel guy. It's gonna be a free win and whatnot. So the strategy for my game plan this game is basically to save up as much econ as possible and try to work around with my disc opener. And then I'm gonna sell it off once I'm level 7, and depending on what I hit and what the lobby is playing, I'll go for either Seraphine, Lulu, or Vex reroll with Twin Terror. So yeah, it's pretty much the game plan, right? So we're gonna pick up this Lulu along the way, and also these cannons, because they can be a bit harder to find once you level up, right? Good to hold on to them, as well as Lilia. But I'm not gonna hold them at expense for my econ, unless I hit, you know, use a clear path for the comp. And even though I was angling Vex this game, I just got dropped basically all of these units I need for the comp, pretty much. I didn't get Lilia. Okay, there I got it. So yeah, we're just opening up the team planner here, and we're changing the entire strat of our game. We're going for Lulu reroll instead. But for now, I'm just gonna play this disco board for a few more turns. Feel like it's stronger for now. What we probably do is we send in the Lulus and remove either Gragas or Nami. And I think that's the play actually. So on to the second augment. Yeah, bulk is good. The parting gifts is decent. I like it more when I have tank items than Sunfire. I think it works better. So rolling for days is decent, but I just rather have board strength, since I'm actually good off my econ. I'll hit 3-star. I mean, we're playing Lulu, so we're gonna hit 3-star anyway, so might as well agree for board strength over econ augment, right? To make us be stronger and have a higher cap. So we're throwing in those two Lulus, and we're taking out that Gragas. So we're just getting the Twin Terror value on her. As you see, she's also buffing the Nami, so we basically have perma CCU with the Lulus and the Nami. Basically, no one can beat us right here, right? And we're gonna sell off Gragas here for 40 gold. We could put him in at next level, but I'd rather greed the econ. So here we have another disco player with keepers and new recruit. This guy has a really strong board actually, but I think we're actually gonna be able to clutch it out. Let's see. Might be close though. Keepers is so good in the disco board because you clump all your units together, so you get infinite value. But I mean, it's not enough value for Twin Terror. This comp is too broken. So a lot of pretty decent stuff we have right here. Could go for KDA spats, not terrible, but I rather just get that free Warmogs. Basically, you can never go wrong with some extra frontline. Am I right? So we're picking up that straight off the bat, slamming on a Warmogs on Taric. So this is another reason for why the comp is so great. It counters melee. Look at this, yeah, so going straight to my backline. He's probably thinking like, nice, I got to the backline. But then my Lulus are just perma seizing him, as well as Nami. So he just died for free. And even though he got to the backline, we just one-shot him. So, boom, we got the Lulu. Nice, right? Nice. So we're just gonna sell off our disco board and try to make a smooth transition right here. So, what I realized is I actually have to level up now. So I want to keep this 5 streak, so I'm actually gonna level up for Twin Terror value. Hopefully that is enough. Fingers crossed it is. As we're throwing in Lulu, we have the entire board set up right here. We're gonna sell off all the old units. But first we're gonna slam the items. So we put the support tank items like Sunfire and Spark on Echo. Is our secondary tank. And then we just make a really beefy Nico right here. And she's the main tank. That's usually the way you wanna do it. Unless you like have a lot more Echo copies than Nico, then you can do it other way around. But usually Nico is a better tank in my opinion. But this guy actually hit a 3-star Olaf, so we didn't really have our board online enough. So we're gonna lose it a bit unfortunately. We lost the 5 streak into Wolves. It happens, what you gonna do? So got dropped a lot of gold here, it's pretty nice, right? And we got a spat as well. So really the only buildable spat that we can have is gonna be KD, right? So we're gonna slam KD, of course. And honestly, it's pretty decent on Lulu, I would say. It's not the best. So, but I'm actually gonna slam KD on her. We basically get a lot of AP, some free HP, and some AD. Just get a lot of stats on her, so it's pretty decent, right? And for the last item, I'm actually gonna greed for a blue buff. So we're not gonna slam anything. Might slam my Giant Slayer. That's pretty decent. So here we have 2 really good options. Freeze a crowd. Well, honestly, we have 4 free costs on this one. This was a pretty hard choice to make. But honestly, since I'm playing Lulu, I feel like attack speed is just so good. And this is honestly a lot of free health as well. So I actually took Inspiring Epitaph, even though Freeze a crowd is really broken. I feel like we can get some free attack speed onto Lulu and just get a lot of, you know, health on our front line as well. So I believe this argument is actually better than Freeze a crowd. It's really close though. So as you see, we got that Express Showdown from the super fan. Really nice to make her cast more often. And we're gonna put Ari close to... We're gonna put her in a nice KD spot. And we're gonna put her next to a Lulu. So she also benefits from that hyper pop. You see, she gets a lot of attacks and a lot of mana, which is the 2 ingredients that Ari needs to just go crazy. So she's actually gonna be like a carry even though she doesn't have items. Basically, having hyper pop gives you mana, it gives her attack speed. And what you want on Ari is blue buff, Nashers. So it's basically like she has items without having items, if that makes sense. So here, really want a blue buff. So I actually made a low mistake there. I didn't see that other one was Echo. Should have picked the Echo just for the unit. Even though 4 cost is more gold, we're playing Echo, so we want that. So I should have taken the Echo there. No diff, we'll hit it anyways, right? So since I'm playing Twin Terror, I'm actually gonna level up to 8 here. Usually this is a slow roll, reroll pump where you roll for Lulu free and whatever other free costs you hit for 3-star, rather at level 7. But in this case, I just get so much value from leveling up because I have a KD spat. You know, we have a +1 Spellweaver from our headliner. So if we level up, we get 5 KD, we get 5 Spellweaver from Seraphine. So I'm just gonna level up for that immediate board strength. So we stabilize and then we're gonna slow roll at 8. And it's just because it fit very nicely in the spot that I have. But if you have a normal board, it might be better to slow roll at 7. You just have to adapt to your game. So even though the website say it's a slow roll 7 board, sometimes you gotta go for that fast 8 instead, like I did here. Because yeah, we just got a lot stronger, as you can see. So keep that in mind in your game. So you see, this comp really counters frontline units. You know, Lulu's perma CCs. By the way, did you see that damage? 10k at 2-star. Yeah, it's crazy. Holy. Yeah, this comp's a banger. But it also uses perma CCs the front line, so you're a bit more safer from random sets, you know, Viegos, Akalis, all of that, yes, which is really nice. So, most people here would probably itemize Ori. I actually think it's gonna be better to itemize Lulu. It's close though. I could see the case for both. But first of all, we're just going to slam a Giant Slayer on her, and we're gonna slam a tank item there on Nico. We want to make sure we have some frontline, right? And I mean, Twin Terror, if we have the prismatic one, I think it's better to put it on Lulu, because the share stats we get from Twin Terror, it's gonna deal more damage than Ori, I feel like. Yeah, look at that. Okay, it was definitely correct to put item on Lulu. If you don't have Twin Terror, then obviously you put it on Ori though, right? So I almost got baited by the Sona, but you know, it's a bait. We're not gonna play it. We need 5 KD. If we put in Sona, we lose 5 KD. I mean, if I got a 2-star, it might be worth it, but boom, there we got the 3-star Lulu. So here it begins. Yeah, I'm really excited to show you this, guys. So, alright, take a look at this damage as well. So, random Ori jump into my battle line is fine. Boom, get polymorphed. You see, even the secondary Lulu is putting in the work. Just like that. By the way, something I forgot to mention. Obviously, depth cap is really good on Lulu. It's straight damage, better than GS and all of that. I just got what I hit. But I think the last item on her, except blue buff, that's Biz, is gonna be Dual Gauntlet. And the reason for it is because, you know, Spellweaver, every cast, you get more AP, and you also get more base AP, even get base AP or increased AP from KDA. So you got raw AP stats, and Dual Gauntlet, it makes you crit based off that HP or AP. So it's just a really nice combo. Meanwhile, Death Cap just gives you raw AP, so that crit is a bigger multiplier, if that makes sense. Guys, I'm just dropping the free tech, the free sauce in this video. By the way, make sure to sub for more tips like this, so I can help you guys climb up the ladder. In the next guide, probably in 2 days, yeah, I'm gonna drop a Seraphine reroll as well video for you guys. So keep the lookout for that. It's really broken as well. But back to the Lulu madness here. What we really want is some form of shred. Spark is gonna be better, but I'll have to make do with a Shiv. So we're gonna slam that Shiv on Lulu to put it on Ori. But I feel like Lulu autos more than Ori. Ori just cast. So putting it on, I mean, she just gets more attack speed from Shiv as well. So like she casts more and it buffs my 3-star Lulu. So I feel like that's really good. So here I faced a Kali Pentakill player. So I put my Seraphine in the back to bait her, because I don't care if my Seraphine dies. So we're protecting our Lulu, we're protecting our Ori. So that's why I position like this. So I basically just kill off my Seraphine to make sure my other units live. Yeah, so onto this dragon, we got dropped a free item anvil. Boom, we're gonna level it up. We basically have what we're looking for. We're playing against an Aria Kali player, so we're probably not hitting any 3-star. He's contesting all of my other units. So we're sending it to level 9, putting another Twin Terror. Preferably, I would like Nico or Ori, but just a random Echo is gonna give me 3 HP, 3 frontline to help me survive that Ori. So she doesn't get to my backline, and surely enough, it doesn't get through the backline. Probably a Twin Terror level up diff right there. So I guess we're just picking up random Echoes, try to 2-star him. It's pretty decent, right? So onto this guy, is playing Disco. As we know, this comp is nerfed, so I'm not too worried about this matchup, right? I feel like this is gonna be an easy win. He has a pretty capped board though. He has Ilabwi, he has Sigs, he has Sona. So it's a really good board. Like, We can't take that from him, but I mean, this comp is used more meta, is more broken this patch. If it was the last patch, he probably wins that, honestly, but you know, meta changes so often in TFT, and yeah, that's what it's all about. So against the Akali guy, again, we're just gonna int our Seraphine to make sure our carries stay alive. We don't really care about Seraphine that much. We rather make sure, you know, Lulu and Ori stays alive. And surely enough, they do. And we get a free dub right here. Pretty close though, not gonna lie. This Ori Akali board is honestly performing really good as well. Kinda underrated, I feel like. But here we just want some random tank item. Honestly, he got a hard steal, so probably the better one he got. But redemption is pretty decent, right? Can't really complain. Basically just rolling for a random unit, and I think I got baited here actually. So usually Ilaoi is a lot better. Like, I'm gonna put the tentacles here to bait out the Party's ulti as well as bait out the Ori. That way our Seraphine lives. I feel like Ilaoi is usually really good, but in this case I feel like Twin Terror Echo is just more frontline, so I think I got weaker here. This guy actually almost beat me for putting in Ilaoi, so don't get baited if you have a Twin Terror for some random 5 cost. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more TFT Set 10 content. It helps me out and I appreciate it. Yeah, peace out guys.